death.
No autopsy has been released. I'll say it again, there is no autopsy for us to look at. My team tried to obtain it, we couldn't. To me, I gotta say, it's sort of strange that he died 6 days after a gunshot wound. Usually, if he's shot, you stop the bleeding,
right,
and then that's it. In his case, for what I'm being told indirectly, is he bled, but later. And I know he was trying to leave the hospital, so the whole thing is a bit strange.
he was sedated. He was in a sedated coma to keep him calm.
So that's Tupac. But Biggie,
Yo, that guy died. He gonna die before Jude. That shit ain't funny, because if I die before Jude, I swear to God, I'm gonna haunt y'all.
Tupac died a very strange and mysterious death. 25 years went by with his murder unsolved. At the time, he was one of the most famous people on planet Earth, and he was murdered during rush hour right on the Vegas Strip. And for almost 30 years, his murder remained a mystery. The only witness to come forward was murdered shortly after. There seems to be a dark cloud over Tupac's death, a cloud of fear and paranoia. There were a lot of strange things that happened before and after Tupac's death. Let's take a look at some of those strange things. A man by the name of Keefe D claims involvement in the unaliving of Tupac Shakur. He was even arrested and is facing charges. He claims that Orlando Anderson was the shooter, but a lot of people do not believe his story because it contradicts what eyewitnesses claim they saw at the scene.
I know someone that was in the car behind Tupac when the shooting occurred, and this person claimed that when they saw the arm stick out the window with the gun, it was a big, meaty arm. It wasn't like a skinny arm like Orlando had.
Is it possible Keefe D is just a patsy in a larger scheme? The night of Tupac's murder, Tupac took multiple pictures leading up to the shooting on the Vegas Strip. He took a picture with a woman named Felicia at about 7 p.m. At 9 p.m., a man named Leonard would take the last photo of Tupac alive. In these two photos, Tupac's mustache seems to be very different. In the first photo, Tupac's mustache appears to be shorter. In the second photograph, taken hours later, Tupac's mustache seems to have grown past his lip. But how could Tupac's mustache have grown that much in just a few hours? In the months leading up to Tupac's shooting in Vegas, Tupac would receive a strange letter from a mysterious woman warning him of his death.
Your Pac called us. He was at his house in Malibu, and he's like, I gotta read a letter to y'all. So he opened up this letter. We was all sitting down. He read the letter. The lady was like, your life is in danger. Get off of death row. He don't know who she was. She was a fan. And when he finished reading the letter, he looked at us and he was like, what do you think? You know what I mean? He's like, what do y'all think of that letter? And I was like, we really, I don't think we really had anything to say, but like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, who is she? What do she mean? Your life is in danger. You have to hurry up and get off of death row.
Who was this woman and how could she have known? Some people believe that dreams can be a sign or an omen of things to come. Some people also believe that angels or even demons can communicate with people in their dreams. Before Tupac's passing, his brother Mopreme claims that he suffered from strange dreams. These nightmares apparently tormented him until his unaliving.
We could die, I'ma die. Nigga died. Nigga, you wanna die? Die. Nigga died. Death. Nigga died. You know what I mean? And I think that's because Pac would have dreams too. He would, he would wake up screaming and shit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So he felt he was gonna die soon.
Yeah. He didn't think he was gonna make it. I mean, a lot of youth that.
Many theories have been circulating about who really might be responsible for Tupac's death. Some people think that there are some very powerful people who might be involved. Little Kim spoke about this.
I will say this though. I will say that I I always felt like Biggie and Tupac was bigger than how they tried to make it to believe it to be. Bigger than just like being involved. I think it was even over his head. You know, them two was very powerful guys. They both could have ran for mayor just like Arnold Schwarzenegger and probably won. You know, I think, you know, the government is looking at it like we should not have these two with this much power running for mayor or something like that and winning. Because, you know, they feel like they would have lost control. I think it was way deeper than what people were like, you know, to believe it to be. You know, I can't say whether this person is involved or that person is involved, and you can't put it on, you know, no one knows. But I do know that it's deeper than what people would like it to believe to be.
A number of rappers have sadly lost their lives since Tupac Shakur, but most of their murders were solved quickly. Even almost 30 years later, we still don't really know what happened to Tupac. The eyewitnesses just can't seem to agree on the facts.
Ambulance leaves with Suge and Tupac and two cops, and they go off to UMC, a local hospital here. That is a very state-of-the-art trauma center. So when they get there, and I later talked to some medical people involved, and they said, you know what, when he got there, he was really dead when he got to the hospital. You know, because they're a state-of-the-art trauma center, they got his heart going with the machine. So he's got a machine keeping his heart going, but as far as real life and brain activity and stuff, there's nothing.
Had tubes in his throat, his nose, and his mouth. So he ain't talked to me, not verbally. He was conscious. He was trying to talk. He did want to talk, but he didn't actually verbalize any words.
Death was a constant theme throughout Tupac's music. Some people believe that the power of life and death is in the tongue, and speaking about death over and over again can bring death to you. Or did he already know he was going to die?
I said, nigga, you'll make a great father. And he was like, nah, I ain't gonna be no father. I said, what you talking about? He said, nigga, I ain't gonna be around long enough to have kids. I said, how old are you? He's like 23. He said, nigga, I'm telling you, I ain't gonna live past 25. He just looked at me, man, with a dead ass stare and said, Smooth, listen, I already seen it. I know how I'm gonna go out, nigga.